and today I'm gonna tell you a story. The title is The Wizard and the Hopping Pot. Have you ever heard about this story before? Well, if you haven't, then I'm gonna tell you. The Wizard and the Hopping Pot. There was once a kindly old wizard who used his magic generously and wisely for the benefit of his neighbors. Rather than reveal the true source of his power, he pretended that his potion, charms, and antidote sprang ready-made from the little cauldron he called his lucky cooking pot. From miles around, people came to him with their troubles, and the wizard was pleased to give his pot a stir and put things right. This well-beloved wizard lived to a goodly age, then died, leaving all his chattel to his only son. This son was of a very different disposition to his gentle father. Those who could not work magic were, to the son's mind, worthless, and he had often quarreled with his father's habit of dispensing magical aid to the neighbors. Upon the father's death, the son found hidden inside the old cooking pot a small packet bearing his name. He opened it, hoping for gold, but found inside a soft, thick slipper, much too small to wear, and with no pair. A fragment of parchment within the slipper bore the words, "In the fond hope, my son, that you will never need it." The son cursed his father's ill-softened mind, then threw the slipper back into the cauldron, resolving it henceforth as a rubbish heap. That very night, a peasant woman knocked on the front door. "My granddaughter is afflicted by a cup of water," she said. "Your father used to make a special poultice in an old cooking pot." "Begone!" cried the son. "What I care for your breast warts?" And he slammed the door in the old woman's face. At once, there came a loud clanging and banging from his kitchen. The wizard lit his wand and opened the door. And there, to his amazement, he saw his father's old cooking pot. It had sprouted a single foot of grass and was hopping on the spot in the middle of the floor, making a fearful noise upon the flagstone. The wizard approached it in wonder, but fell back hurriedly when he saw that the whole pot's surface was covered in warts. "Disgusting object!" he cried. Then he tried firstly to punish the pot, then to clean it by magic, and then finally to force it out of the house. None of his spells worked, however, and he was unable to prevent the pot from hopping after him out of the kitchen, and then following him up to bed, clanging and banging loudly on every wooden stair. The wizard could not sleep all night for the banging of the moldy old pot by his bedside. The next morning, the pot insisted upon hopping after him to the breakfast table. Clang, 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 but the pot's single glass went upon the floor. The wizard had not even started his porridge when there came another knock on the door. An old man stood on the doorstep. "'Tis my own donkey, sir," he explained. "Though she is all stolen, and without her I cannot take my ways to market, and my family will go hungry tonight." "And I am hungry now," roared the wizard, and he slammed the door on the old man. Clang, clang, clang went the pot, single brass with the porridge floor. But now its clamors was mixed with the brays of donkeys, human groans of hunger echoing from the depths of the pot. "Be still! Be silent!" shrieked the wizard. But not all his magical power could quieten the watery old pot, which hopped at his heel all day, braying and groaning and hopping and sprouting more warts. That very evening came a third knock upon the door, and there, on the threshold, stood a young woman, sobbing as though her heart would break. "My baby is grievously ill," she said. "Won't you please help us? Your father made me come with troubles." But the wizard slammed the door on her. And now the tormented pot filled to the brim with salt water and sloped all over the floor as it hopped and waved and groaned and spotting more warts. Though no more villagers came to sleep at the wizard's cottage for the rest of the week, the pot kept him informed by their many ills. Within a few days it was not only braying and groaning and stopping and hopping and sporting on walls. It was also choking and retching, crying like a baby, whining like a dog, and spewing out bad cheese and sour milk and blood of hungry blood. At last, the wizard would bear it no more. "Bring me all your problems, all your trouble and your woes," he screamed, fleeing into the night with the pot still hopping along behind him along the road to the village. "Come, let me cure you, mend you, and comfort you. I have my father's cooking pot, and I shall make you well." And with the gold pot still bubbling along behind him, he ran up the street, casting spells in every direction. Inside one house, the little girl's words vanished as he slept. The lost donkey was summoned from a distant briar patch and sat down softly in its stable. The sick baby was doused in litany and well and rosy. At every house of sickness and sorrow, the wizard did his best, and gradually the cooking pot beside him stopped groaning and retching and became quite shiny and clean. "Well, pot," asked the trembling wizard as the sun began to rise. The pot burnt out a single slipper he had thrown into it, and permitted him to fit it on a brass foot. Together they set off